Working for somebody who's erectile dysfunction, who's got diabetes, who's got arthritis, gout, eczema, then it's probably a good idea to invest in this lifestyle, and not necessarily out of fear, but out of observation. It just didn't make any more sense. And on top of that, the second part to that, in my heart, is that I saw it unnecessary to continue eating animals. It didn't make any sense to me once I started eating vegetables and then fruits, and then it made less sense to me to abuse anyone and suffer anyone.
All right, thanks. And have you found any challenges while trying to deal with this diet and continue it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The number one challenge is social. That's the hardest challenge that I face. Physically, absolutely healing flare-ups. If anyone is interested in going vegan, no healing flare-ups. I've never seen any problem. Somebody transition from a standard diet to vegan, cooked vegan, no problems. Going raw, especially high-carb raw or mostly fruit, I witnessed, not just for myself, but people that were transitioning, cleaning themselves from cancer, diabetes, and all these things I mentioned earlier, and much more. Every single one of them goes to healing flare-ups. The first one is emotional. Emotional flare-ups where they have outbursts, and I've had crying fits, I've had, it's never positive, it's never me laughing fits, I've never had the laughings. But I could say that the emotional is very hard. It's getting off a drug. Eating cooked foods is much like getting off alcohol, getting off cigarettes, getting off heroin or cocaine. I've never done those, but I've only witnessed through my cousins, my family, and any members in my family to some extent. But it doesn't mean the hard drugs. I'm talking about like the alcohol, the cigarettes. Some people are still doing it. But as far as some of my friends, I've witnessed them that were on heroin or other major ones go through some really hard stuff. And I used to go to support groups myself because I thought I was an alcoholic. And I saw people with some severe problems. And then I saw the people that were transitioning, myself, really, from eating cooked foods to raw foods, what I was going through. And then, of course, physically, not just emotionally, but then physically, I've had a lot of waste come out of my body. In the beginning, especially when I was doing the cleansing and detoxes, I saw it necessary because I help people. So that's the challenges are physical, mental, emotional, and then socially, like I said, you're gonna not really be accepted by your peers, because if you tell somebody, I don't eat this, I don't do that, oftentimes you may be judged, you may be seen as someone who is on a high horse, they say, or high morals. And so I definitely say tell anybody who is interested in this to be prepared for people to approach you in a manner that may not be the most positive.
Right. And what would you say is the most pronounced benefit you've experienced?
I could tell you the losing the 90 pounds was huge. Me getting off alcohol, I felt I was alcoholic. I used to fight a lot, I used to fight a lot, at least once a week, if not more. My attitude changed, my personality, high blood pressure when I was over 210 pounds, cholesterol problems, shortness of breath, anxiety, anger, sleep problems, so many disorders, mental disorders I would consider them, depression, many things that I thought were almost inescapable, and it was hard. And the way I relate with people, the way I relate with life now, instead I look at it, the benefit is a new sense of gratitude. And I think the only way I can experience gratitude and share it is to not cause suffering and harm to someone. It means, or myself, it means very little to say that I'm thankful or talking about peace and love if I'm hurting someone in order to give myself a false sense of peace and love. That's the benefit, is that I'm a little more conscious. Oh, and a really cool benefit besides that is my senses. I feel my senses are a lot more awakened, more excited. So when I taste something, the taste, if it's something sweet and fresh and ripe, it's the most heavenly feeling in the world to connect with that fruit. And I feel ecstatic, I feel like in bliss. And then on the turn of that taste, if I taste something that's not so good, the smell even is so repulsive. So that also appeals to the body odor of people, including myself. I quickly smell body odor in colognes and perfumes, and I'm very sensitive to that. Sight, my vision has improved. I've done sight tests and so forth before I got out of the military.